Rebster's dictionary Look, we don't need to do that, but if you don't know what a kick-out is, and why are you watching this and not Baby Shark for the 8th time today? We talked about loads of things that makes wrestling amazing to watch, table spots, finishers, heel turns, but actually, maybe the single greatest thing to experience as a wrestling fan is when you are completely 100% convinced that you are watching the finish of a wrestling match, and then the wrestler being pinned kicks out. That jolt of sheer electricity being unmatched in literally any other entertainment medium. The collective bellow of surprise from a crowd when the shoulder leaves the mat is just the greatest thing, and I'm trying to do the impossible here, so bear with me. Here are the 20 greatest kickouts in wrestling history. And hey, remember to subscribe over on Parts Far Known. Soon the lists will move over there and we'll stop uploading to WrestleTalk, so quick, subscribe so you don't miss any. Honorable mentions, these two aren't technically kickouts, but they are heart-stopping false finishes in themselves. Neville hitting the red arrow on Seth Rollins on Raw in 2015 only for his foot to kiss the middle rope, and Kenny Omega finally hitting the one-winged angel on Okada in their first Dominion rematch, and Okada just flicks his foot into the ropes at the last possible second. Amazing both. Right, here we go properly. Number 20, Edge, WrestleMania 24. Let's be honest, we knew Edge was going to kick out of the tombstone here because of how long the delay was until the ref started counting, but god damn it, this is going on the list because of Charles Robinson's iconic dash to the ring. Look at them little legs go diddly diddly diddly. Regular Nate never moved like that. Proper funny that, as is Robinson's big out of puff face when Edge finally kicks out. Number 19, Adam Cole, Ring of Honor Best in the World 2014. Hard to get hold of in terms of footage this, but it's too funny to not include. At Ring of Honor's Best in the World pay-per-view in 2014, Mike Elgin finally won the ROH World Championship. However, before the actual finish of the match, Adam Cole kicked out of the Elgin bomb at the last possible moment, and the Ring of Honor fans were so convinced that was the finish, they prematurely threw streamers into the ring, which then had to be hurriedly cleared away as the fans chanted, "We up." Number 18, Mick Foley, Royal Rumble 2000. Ultimate Warrior silliness aside, the pedigree was a super protected move going into 2000, especially with Triple H enjoying his first ever world title reign, which made it all the more joyful. Mick was then completely and utterly murdered in front of them with another pedigree on the goddamn thumbtacks. Oh no. It was a great moment that sold just how more dangerous than Mankind Cactus Jack could be. Number 17, AJ Styles, SummerSlam 2016. Sometimes a great kick-out reaction happens because WWE convinces us they're going to do a terrible thing, but then surprise us by doing a lovely thing. Case in point, at SummerSlam 2016, AJ Styles really needed to beat John Cena, but Cena going over was the most plausible thing in the world. And Avalanche AA seems to be the herald of doom when AJ picks his shoulder up at the last second. An incredible moment made very, very silly by John Cena, who spends the next 20 minutes doing some I can't believe this acting. Look at that face. Stop it. Number 16, CM Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. And hey, speaking of narrowly avoided plausible disaster, Punk vs Cena at Money in the Bank is one of the great crowd matches of all time. An entire building aching for a Punk win, with the horrible kernel of doubt in their stomachs that WWE would never crown him. The first time Punk kicks out of the AA, it's expected. Everyone kicks out of the first AA on pay-per-view after all. But the second, when Cena plants him one more time after walking around with him on his shoulders, that was the one the crowd believed could truly, horribly be the end. And the explosion of joy is so much louder. Number 15, Tyler Bate, NXT TakeOver Cardiff. A good kick out at one is, and should be, a rare commodity in wrestling main events, but when done right, it's the most shocking thing in the world. At TakeOver Cardiff, during Walter vs Tyler Bate, one of my favoritist matches ever, by the way, Walter plants Bate with the same powerbomb he used to finish so many matches, plants all his weight on Tyler, who then kicks out at one. The moment's so shocking that fans don't immediately react, but Bate and Walter hold their poses of grit and shock, and slowly the reaction builds and builds to thunderousness. Big strong boy. Number 14, Daniel Bryan, Elimination Chamber 2012. As difficult as this is to type, but prior to this match, the Cobra was a protected finishing move. God help us all. Seriously, if the sock went on and you got struck by it, you were done for, and this protection paid off gangbusters in this unlikely World Championship moment in 2012. Going into the Chamber match for D-Bry's title, Santino Marella had a parody Rocky Balboa-style underdog's journey, somehow made it to the final two of the match, and good God almighty, actually hit the Cobra on Bryan. It did not make sense. It would not make sense to change the title before Mania. It would never ever happen for Santino, but just for that one moment, people believed, leading to a hell of a kick out. And 7 years later, at Elimination Chamber 2019, underdog Kofi Kingston would kick out of Daniel Bryan's running knee to a huge pop, bringing it all full circle. Number 13, The Rock, WrestleMania X7. I might get hate for this, but honestly, I think this kick out's a tad overrated. Like, It's good, of course it is, the crowd response alone speaks to that, but the whole match had been building and building to Austin finally hitting the stunner on The Rock. Instead of kicking out at 2.5, Rock powers out at 2. It's a small difference, but it's all the difference. Big moment, big match, and the storytelling's great. The kick out breaks Austin's mind, and that leads to him unloading with the chair, but it could have been just slightly better, and you know I'm right. Number 12, Kenny Omega, Wrestle Kingdom 11. The moment that you knew that Kenny Omega would someday be IWGP Heavyweight Champion. The first ever singles match between Omega and Okada took place at Wrestle Kingdom 11. It ran over 45 minutes, making it the longest Wrestle Kingdom match ever, and a finisher is only kicked out of once. After a blistering exchange, a dead on his feet Kenny is hit with the Rainmaker and kicks out at the last possible moment. It's a huge deal, and a lot of credit has to be given to Okada for his face afterwards. Instead of the bug-eyed, huh? face that so many wrestlers do, Okada just looks really, really sad. Like, oh no. Brilliant. Number 11, Savage and Warrior, WrestleMania 7. An absolute classic. The retirement match between Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior isn't talked about nearly enough as it should be. The crowd are mental for this match throughout, thanks to a whip-smart and unexpected match layout that sees not one, but two insane kickouts. First, Savage hits Warrior with not one, not two, but 5 elbow drops, and that doesn't put him away. But then Warrior hits the running splash, the move that won him the WWF title the year before, and this time Savage powers out. Very silly stuff, but considering that both men's careers were on the line, the kickouts matched the stakes. Number 10, Randy Orton, WrestleMania 30. Fans really are so conditioned to WWE telling them to go f*** themselves that so many people, myself included, truly bought this as the finish to the triple threat main event of WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan hit Orton with the running knee before Batista scoops him out of the ring and steals the cover with just the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. Batista was originally booked to win that match after all, and fans had this sudden flash of plausible, really plausible horror before Orton mercifully kicked out. Number 9, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 31. It's something I mentioned a whole bunch of times, but Lesnar really is one of the best kick-out artists in the business, which is saying something for a man made of 16 tons of furious tofu. His timing is so good, and he always remembers not to physically start moving until the last possible moment, which is more than could be said for John Cena. This kick-out is the perfect storm of superb last-second timing and a really plausible finish that no one wanted. Roman hate was at its all-time height. He just hit 2 spears. Oh god, this is it, isn't it? And oh god, it's not. Proper depart your chair stuff. Number 8, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21. Kurt Angle is another all-time great kick-outer, barely moving most of the time, just sort of flinging an arm in the air. But in one of the greatest matches in Mania history, HBK does it better. Michaels is on the top rope, Angle scampers up to him and plants him with a top rope angle slam, dives for the cover, but Michaels launches a shoulder up at 2.5, and man, just the roar of the crowd. It's an insane pop for an insanely great match. And speaking of insane pops, number 7, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18. Hot damn, Canada, you loud! The Icon versus Icon match between Rock and Hogan is super basic, but that's what works about it, and the crowd went insane for it. It's generally one of the loudest, most sustained pops ever when Hogan kicks out of the rock bottom straight into a Hulk up. He nails Rock with the big boot and the leg drop. JR delivers one of the all-time great calls with he beat Andre the Giant with that move, and then the crowd popped like crazy again when Rock kicks out of that. Just a huge amount of noise. Number 6, Kota Ibushi, G1 Climax 23. One of the best kickouts ever, maybe one that you've never even heard of, but it's so good. Kota Ibushi is the current top guy in New Japan, but it was a long road getting there. Even so, Ibushi had greatness deep within him, alongside a streak of sheer terrifying violence. In this blockbuster G1 match with the very best version of Shinsuke Nakamura, they knock lumps off each other, with Ibushi going to his very dark, very violent place. Nakas then hits him with 3 bomb REAs, that's what they called the Kinshasa in New Japan, 3 of the f***ers, and Ibushi kicks out at 1. What makes it so great though is that it's not a proper kick out. Like, he leaps out of it before his legs buckle. He's out on his feet. He has no idea where he is. The kick out came from this unthinking, bestial part of Kota Ibushi before one more bomb IA puts him away. But what a shocking glimpse of the insane greatness yet to come. Number 5, Johnny Gargano, TakeOver New York. Silly match this, and a prelude to some of NXT's more cartoonish false finish over indulgences, but damn it, the final few minutes of this match tear you around like like a dog with a rabbit in its mouth. Cole was so much the obvious choice to win this match that the fans bought every single false finish. When Johnny kicks out of Panama Sunrise, out of Yui hitting him with the high-low, and finally what surely had to be the finish when Gargano takes out the whole faction for eating 2 super kicks and a last shot. No kick out. Very, very silly, especially in hindsight, but heart-stopping stuff in the moment. Number 4, Kenny Omega, AEW Revolution 2020, the best kick out at 1 ever. Told a wonderful story, this one that we've talked about a lot, but that's how great it really is. The Elite have been on shaky ground for a while, stretching back years into New Japan, with the Young Bucks being obviously jealous of Omega's friendship with his best boyfriend for life and Golden Lover's teammate Kota Ibushi. At Revolution, Young Bucks let their inner heels out and hit Omega with the Golden Trigger, which is the Lover's finishing move. This cruel dig lit a fire of pure rage under Kenny, and he powered out at 1 before pounding the mat in fury, all as the fans lost their shit. Number 3, Brock Lesnar Survivor Series 2018. My favorite match and my favorite moment from my favorite match. Daniel Bryan suffers the beating of his life before glimpsing one tiny opportunity to turn things around. The ref goes down, kick to the balls, and then the running knee, with Lesnar shifting himself away from the ropes, which sells as a false finish even more, before a kick out with nanoseconds to spare. Glorious stuff. Number 2, Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25. I just had an out-of-body experience. Well said, JR. It's important to point out that prior to WrestleMania 25, The Undertaker's streak was usually defended with a single tombstone. Sure, the year before they had the Charles Robinson silliness, but more or less since Mania 14, the dead man only needed to hit 1. 10 years later, 1 almost. The best of the best. And number 1, The Undertaker WrestleMania 28, because yeah, this is a time that pretty much everyone actually let themselves believe, just for 10 seconds, that the streak was coming to an end. The match itself is a bit long, bit too am-dram for some people's tastes, but this moment might just be the best WrestleMania moment ever. Sweet chin music, pedigree, kick out. Unreal just how much this 10-second window makes you feel. As Taker kicks out, JR screams, the streak lives, and Michaels contorts like he's being attacked by a cloud of invisible bees. Hooray for wrestling. That's our list. What are your favorite kickouts? Let us know below, and don't forget to head on over to Parts Fun Known and subscribe. Pretty soon all the lists will be uploaded over there, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single one. And also, never forget to jam that jam.